Manchester City destroy, humble, and embarrass Liverpool at the Etihad with what can only be described as a scintillating, absolutely scintillating performance from the defending champions. They close the gap on Arsenal. My prediction was wrong. It started how I thought it would go. I thought Liverpool would press like they did, defend and counter in the way that they did. They took the lead. They had an opportunity to go 2-0 up. Jack Grealish, that I'll come on to later, with a beautiful interception. And from that moment, about 25, 26 minutes in, City took over. They were absolutely out of this world. What a statement. What a performance. What a win. Champions-esque. And listen, Arsenal for me, everyone knows they remain my favourites. What I have not done all season is discredit this City team. At no point have I said you're bad. At no point have I said you were rubbish. At no point have I said you were finished. Some people have done that. It's premature and stupid. That today was a statement. No Haaland. Alvarez stepped up. KDB at his best. Mahrez at his best. And Jack Grealish. And we will move on to Liverpool. We will move on to Liverpool in a moment. But I don't want to take anything away from Manchester City because they deserve nothing but credit for today's performance. Nothing but credit. KDB out of this world. Mahrez, John Stones. He'll be the unsung hero. But what a performance. He stepped up into that midfield. He was just out. It was like tasting a very well aged, very well seasoned, and very tenderly cooked steak. It was just, you have to have a proper palate to understand what John Stones did today. It was out of this world. But for me, Jack Grealish, I want to praise this man today. I have been very critical of Jack Grealish because I haven't seen enough performances like today. Everything I've said in the past, I stand by. Yes, I'm joking around with a bit of banter with funny names for him, but I've always said there's a talent in there. He's always been a player I've rated, but I didn't think for a forward at £100 million, he was delivering enough. Today was a arrival moment for him. Today, he dominated the play. He cooked Trent Alexander-Arnold. He was involved in the build-up. He stretched. He created space, which he always does. But he added creativity, which led to a goal. He scored a goal. It was a £100 million performance. Outputs matter most for forwards. Do you know who said that? Jack Grealish himself. This is what I've been waiting for as a football fan from Jack Grealish. It was a privilege. It was an honor. It was a beautiful footballing experience to watch this man cook Trent Alexander-Arnold, rip Liverpool apart, grab his assist, grab his goal, and dominate a game. This is what I expect from £100 million players in their mid to late 20s, playing for the best manager in the world, in the most fixed and recognizable system in the world, in an outstanding team, maybe the best team in the world of the last 4 to 5 years. This is what I expect. Jack Grealish delivered his best performance in a City shirt today. And I just want to say well done to him, because today was maybe sort of a coming of age moment for him in a City shirt, because what we just witnessed was a world-class performance from him today. And if more of this is to come, this City team becomes even more potent, scary, and dangerous. Well done, Grealish. Absolutely well done to him. Absolutely well done to him. And I'm always someone that will do that. I stand by my opinions. I stand by my views on up till this point. But I think a lot of City fans in their heart of hearts will sit there and go, I know where Terry was coming from, because we got everything we like about Jack today, plus what we were expecting for that 100 million. What a performance. And look, in the preview, I got it completely wrong. I was like, he won't do much today, because I didn't expect that from him anymore. And we should. That is the Jack Grealish that everybody wanted to sign when he was at Aston Villa. And I don't expect him to say, play like that every week. No athlete in the history of sport performs to that optimum level week in, week out. Game in, game out. Race in, race out. Match in, match out. Whatever sport you're watching. No one does. It's humanly impossible. But there should be 3 or 4 big performances like that a season in top 6 games. And there should be multiple performances like that a season against the smaller sides from a £100 million player of the age of Jack Grealish. And I'm not putting him down. I'm doing nothing but praising him. Out of this world today. And someone here says flip-flop. Not a flip-flop at all. It's literally a linear process in terms of my opinion. I said he wasn't delivering because what I saw today is what he should be doing. So therefore, well done for doing it. I would be an arsehole to, like, from an opinion point of view, to say, this is what I want to see. Somebody delivers it and then you don't give him any praise. I don't move goalposts. I never move the goalposts, ever. You won't see that from me on this channel. Well done, Jack Grealish. Deserves all the praise that he can get today. You can't call him Jack. You can't call him Luke Chadwick today. I can't, because today wasn't Luke Chadwick. Today was Jack Grealish, £100 million player. Today he wasn't just an also run. He was pivotal. And we've had debates over the international break about pivotal players in teams. The way Jack Grealish has played most of the time leading up till now, with or without him, City win titles. When you put performances in like today, you're moving that needle. Because I honestly believe, with the way Liverpool started, if Jack Grealish had not have stepped up today and played at that level, I don't think they win. Jack Grealish was the man that moved the needle. The rest of his team followed his lead. And of course, they annihilated Liverpool Football Club. They really, really did. Now, on Liverpool, I just want to say, they smashed Man United 7-0. They've lost 3 on the bounce since. The high line exposed in every single game. And we could attack Trent. We could attack Robertson today, that was awful. We could attack Van Dijk, who again was anonymous. Anonymous, best centre-back in Premier League history. No, not on your Nelly. But I'm blaming Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp is at fault because he sticks with that stupid high line. And it gets ripped limb from limb, week in, week out, game in, game out. And nobody calls it out in the media. No one. And I was still disappointed in them today. From a neutral point of view, I thought the first 20 minutes of the game was high quality. As soon as City scored, it became a high quality game from City, and Liverpool they sat in. Well, they sat in for the rest of the first half and tried to contain. Beginning of the second half, they came out with some chest and they got their jaw ripped off like Franklin's going to get tonight. And then they just sat back and were like negative and awful. And like I said to Liverpool fans, when they beat, this is the football gods. I said to Liverpool fans after your 7-0 win over United, you're over-indexing it. You're over-celebrating it. You've taken the banter too far. And when you start to produce dead banter that's tired, that's finished, the football gods come together. And the football gods are an accumulation of all gods, okay, whatever you believe in. Do you know what I mean? I'm not trying to offend anybody. But the football gods came together and said, oh, your banter's gone dry, Liverpool fans. You're still drinking cans of 7-Up 2 weeks later. There you go, 3 defeats on the bounce. And I wanted one more goal from City today, because then it would have been 3 defeats on the bounce and 7 goals conceded. Top 4 races looking really, really difficult now for Liverpool. But as I said, this is down to the football gods. You over-index that win. 1 goal scored in 3. 3 defeats on the bounce now for Liverpool. And it just tops off an awful season. And as I say, that high line, that is a Jurgen Klopp issue. He doesn't have the personnel for it. Robertson, awful today. I don't know what he was doing for that goal. Trent, of course, he has an awful moment in most games defensively. VVD, just the guy is a shadow of himself. So your manager has to react. Your manager has to change something. Drop them 10 yards deeper so they don't get exposed. He doesn't do that. So I'm putting it on Klopp because he hasn't made that change. He hasn't made that change. He needs to do it because, listen, they had the game against United and the game against Bournemouth at the beginning of the season where they were scintillating. But outside of that, every other game, that high line has been exposed. It's like Amir Khan's chin just sitting out there waiting for someone to knock it out. And that's what happened. Honestly, the players are to blame individually. But when they keep making those mistakes and the manager keeps persisting with those individuals and that system, you can only look at your manager. Simple and as straightforward as that. And that's why a lot of Liverpool fans are starting to lose patience with Jurgen Klopp. They understand that FSG are restricting him with quality of players. Well, then you do what great managers do. You adjust your system and your style. Maybe he can only play one way. Maybe that's a reason why he won't become a GOAT manager. If he can't adapt and change and kind of evolve with what his team needs. It would definitely struggle at times with FFG if they're not going to give him all that money. But it was embarrassing from them today to play like that. And the third goal, sorry, the goal just after halftime. Honestly, I've seen my team concede goals like that, so I know how embarrassing it is. But to do it with a team that was so good, my team was always crap and was conceding goals like that. To be one of the best teams in the world to conceding goals like that with the same personnel, and most of them have not even hit 30 yet. You know, it's worrying times ahead. And I feel sorry for Liverpool fans. I do. We have a super chat here that says, Terry, clip yourself from last week, please. I will on the top 6 show. I can't react to my own self because that would be really weird. Because when I do my reactions to people's stuff, I don't watch it before I react to it. So it's not fake. But I of course, I've done it before. I've clipped myself up. I'm not a douche like that. Liverpool are at, what does that say? DEFCON 5, sorry. A massive reset, but we will beat Arsenal at Anfield. City will win the league, is what Sean says here. I don't know about that, my friend. In terms of Arsenal, they're going to cut you apart, my friend. Grealish is finally a Pep player. City are defo at their best. Second half was a training session. Pep needs to respect playing Stones in the 6 is genius. Yeah, it was great today. Everything about City today deserves credit, deserves praise. It was absolutely sensational. It really was. Luke became Jack again. He did, Brian. He became Jack Grealish today. He got his name back. City, they tore the Scousers apart again. They did. It was embarrassing. Embarrassing scoreline. Van Dijk used his aura and still conceded 4. Yeah, the guy's washed. Right now, he might get it back. But right now, for me, the man he reminds me of the last season that Rio had at Man United, just when he ain't on point. And it's sad to see, like, as a football fan, it's sad to see a brilliant player lose his power. Someone that I openly call the best centre back in the world for 3 years. As a United fan, it's great. Even at Anfield, Arsenal could win against this Liverpool defence. Well, they're going to create chances against you because all but Man United did. Well, even United did. Even we did, and you guys destroyed us. Arsenal will create 3 or 4 gilt-edged chances against you at Anfield. It's just a fact. Sharim here says it's hard being a Muslim, brown, and a Liverpool fan. This club and team need deleting. I don't get the correlation between those 3 things in the context of football, unless I've missed something. My bro. But I get why it's hard to be a Liverpool fan right now, brother. Big up Terry. Could see Brighton make top 4. They could. The door is open. Especially if Man United beat Newcastle tomorrow. I pray, I hope. I don't know if we will, though. One day, as a Liverpool fan, God, that was bad. Is what Ibby says there. Trent makes Titus Bramble look like a okay defender. Listen, Trent, I actually feel sorry for Trent. FSG have created a situation where there's almost nobody else to bring in. Maybe you could play Joe Gomez. I'm not even sure if he's fit. I didn't check before making that statement. But Trent's just had the season from hell. There's no one to come in for him. He's been made to play on a high line where he gets exposed. It's predictable. Something's got to change. Liverpool are done, Ray says here. Their season most certainly is. Sarim can't have a drink. Lol, Ramadan. Yeah, well, he couldn't have a drink any day, whether it's Ramadan or not. Oh, I get what you mean, maybe by saying being Muslim at the minute, because maybe you can't be as angry. I know that during this time, it's a difficult thing to do. But I'm not a scholar, so if I've got that wrong, one does apologize. We'll be bringing out the panel soon, but Dom Husam is going to be joining us in a minute. He is showing his face, and always respect that after a team loses. Little Tom will be joining us. Man like V will be here as well to have their say. Terry Gundogan, top 5 midfielders for 5 seasons. Yeah, Gundogan's great, my friend. And a lot of people think I hate City. I don't. I just have high standards for you. The teams that I have high standards for, I'm more critical of. And equally, go look at every prediction of me saying I think Arsenal will win the league and find me a moment where I say you're a bad team. You won't be able to find it. If you do, I'll pay you rent for 2 months, 3 months. You just won't find me saying it, my friend. I just don't do things like that. That's TikTok. That's sort of TikTok content, and that's really not what I'm about. You know what I mean? Even in the game, I thought that Gakpo got fouled for a penalty. Then I saw the replay. I tweeted saying, "How's that not a pen?" Took ages to see a replay on our TVs here. And then I saw the replay and I tweeted again saying, "Actually, he dived." And then I sort of called out, I wonder if TalkSport will talk about the diving like they do with Bruno as a bit of a joke. People are like, "You said it was a pen." I'm like, everybody thinks everyone's a TikToker now, where your opinion flip flops every 30 seconds. Like, just go read if you see like a contradictory tweet within the space of a few minutes, go to my TL and check if I've said something else and corrected myself. Like, most people just naturally assume you've done that, but TikTokers, honestly, they're ruining people's brains. Those Chinese apps are terrible for you, I tell you. But there we go. By the way, before we go any further, we've got a poll running for who should be man of the match. Currently, 2,500 votes, which is amazing. 72% are voting for Jack Grealish, formerly named Luke Chadwick on the Football Terrace. What a performance. And also make sure you're following the Top 6 podcast on Spotify. The link is in our description and in the live chat. Go click on that now. Go give us a 5-star rating and download the Top 6. It goes out exclusively on Spotify twice a week. And strangely enough, we were trending #1 for football podcasts in Russia and Trinidad and Tobago in the last week, which is so everyone who watches in Russia and everybody that is watching in Trinidad and Tobago, thank you for making, and #2 in France. So well done. Thank you to the French. Thank you to the Russians that watch, and thank you to the Trinidadians who were tuning in. I appreciate it. So thank you very much. It'd be great to get it to #1 in the UK. That's hard, by the way. There's so much competition here. But thank you to those countries that made us #1. Husam's joining me now on the show. Get the likes up, though, people. Subscribe to the Terrace. Let's go. Welcome back to the show, my friend. Obviously, an awful result for yourselves today. Talk to me, bro. Talk to me.
This was a humiliating experience, to be honest with you. I was one of the Liverpool fans pre-game. That was very confident. And I said we're going to win. And I'm like, I miss watching Liverpool play football because I'm an idiot. I miss Liverpool playing football. I can't wait. I think we're going to stink it up. We're going to win 1-0. We're going to do this. We're going to do that, blah, blah, blah. But it's just like that last 30 minutes or so was just humiliating. Like, it was just unnecessary football. Just unnecessary football. Like, there was no need for that. He could have just blown the whistle and we could have went home. As soon as he took off Salah, I knew he gave up. And once again, he turns up, he scores in the big game. But then there's a meme of LeBron James, just no help. Just no help. He's just there by himself. Nothing to do. And, so all the people who call me negative all the time, I was positive. I predicted a win. And, we still lost. So, look, this team is just at a crossroads. I'm arguing with people on Twitter every day, fighting my own fan base. Still people telling me about Henderson's leadership and telling me about this and telling me about that. It's time to move on. It's time to move into phase 2. And I'm not singling out Henderson. The players, it's just the same stuff that I've told Terry post-game 100 million times. Alisson had a good game. Salah had a good game. Konate had a good game. The rest were crap. I've said this probably 500 times already. It's just what can I do? Because it's just the consistent truth. You watch this Liverpool team and it's just depressing to watch. It just gets on your last nerve how they just give up just like that. We went from mentality monsters to mentality midgets. We went from 7'5" to like 2'5". We went to like not even a fully grown, human being. Like, we just fully suck right now. And there is no explanation for this. It's just absolutely horrible from top to bottom. Ownership, management, assistant manager, like the players, everyone. Today, for example, people love to get onto Trent all the time, 24/7. Trent. Can we speak on Andy Robertson today? Well, his worst performance in a Liverpool shirt I've ever seen my whole life. Mahrez tore him a new one. At least I can say Trent played the ball in behind for the first goal. What did Robertson do? Nothing. I was doing a watch along, and every time I got into the final third, I'm like, watch as he messes this up. Virgil van Dijk, once again, horrible performance. The three midfielders, when there's something there, but it's not there. When there's something there, but it's not there. When you go to a restaurant and you order, and there is just like unnecessary shit on the side. It is physically on the table, but it's not there because you can't see it, because you can't feel it. That three in midfield is there, but it's a hologram. It's just numbers on a pitch. It's just non-existent. Jordan Henderson's actually afraid of the football. He's afraid of the. How are you afraid? You are playing a sport called football. The ball arrives at your foot. Why are you panicking? Why are you panicking every single time? Elliot is hiding in games. He has a few good moments, but he is a youngster. I'm not going to blame him. Fabinho, crap once again. Once again, the fall off of Fabinho needs to be studied in a lab so we can teach people how to not fall off like this. It needs to be studied. You need to send his DNA to a lab, bring rats and do tests and go like, this is how you don't fall off as a player. You cannot go from one of the best DMs in the world to just absolutely horrible like this. Klopp, once again, for me, as soon as he took off Salah, it's like he said, I've given up on this game. He said it indirectly. As soon as he took off Salah, he's given up.
I looked at most of the players that came off in that first trench of substitutions, and I know that Robertson had a bad game, but normally Trent comes off when you're being cooked as well. But it was almost a case of I'm taking off my most important players for Chelsea because Robertson will probably bounce back from this as an example. It was almost like I'm taking my most important players off. We're not coming back. And it's interesting, really, because I wanted United to do what you did in the last 20 minutes when you were battering us, be compact and resolute and harder to break down rather than going for it. But at the same time, when you watch it your way and you're like, it was 3-1. If we'd have gone for it, we might have lost. What is the difference between 5-1 and 4-1? There isn't a great deal. But if you'd have got that goal and make it 3-2, mentality changes. So I do get why you were frustrated. In terms of the next couple of games, because top four is still on the cards mathematically, away to Chelsea, at home to Arsenal. How do you see those games going, Husam?
My brother, this top four crap, I'm telling you right now, it all depends on this Chelsea game. If Chelsea, we lose or we draw, I'm just vibing to the end of the season. I'm just vibing. After Chelsea, I'm vibing. That's it. If we win, I'll tell you, yes, Terry, there's hope. And we can get top four. If we get anything other than a win at Stamford Bridge, it's over for me. That's it. I am no longer entertaining the idea of a top four race. I'm not even putting it into my head. Because this is what I did all this international break. And I'm like, we're going to beat City. And this is where our run starts and all this stuff. You know, Liverpool, blah, blah, blah. And boom, we just get, we just get roasted like we did today. And when I was talking about the give up part, I'm talking about the mental element of like, the players just kind of gave up in terms of like, they stopped trying. Like that fourth goal we conceded, the Grealish goal. That is one goal where I will 100% say that's on Trent because he just gave up. He just stopped running. I'm like, just let him score, man, whatever. Like that type of thing. I just think we just fully gave up. And for me, the top four race now, Stamford Bridge. Ask me after that game, inshallah, and I'll tell you. I cannot give an answer.
You want to know the irony of things in life? Right, currently you're 7 points off the top four. That lovely number 7. It's going to haunt you.
And I'm fasting, so I wish I can have some 7-Up. I wish.
In a few hours, it'll come soon, bro. It'll come soon. But listen, man, as I say, I don't feel sorry for Liverpool. I'm a Man United fan, but I don't like seeing those types of second half performances where you can just tell there wasn't an attempt to get back into the game. It's not a good look, as you say. And this week is so defining now. Chelsea and Arsenal, massive games. Arsenal, I think Arsenal even next week. It's a game you always win. And we know how good they are this year. We know how poor you've been by your recent standards anyway. You know, this week goes badly. It's basically season over with 2 months, with 2 months to go. And that's just going to be a horrible 2 months for Liverpool fans, essentially playing for nothing when you consider what you've been doing in the past 6 years.
Forget even this week. If we lose against Chelsea, it's season over. What's the point if we lose against Chelsea? Let's be real. If we lose against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, there's nothing left. That's it. If we lose, that's why I told you, ask me after Chelsea, because for me, after that Chelsea game, if that game does not end in a Liverpool win, there is no top four race. Yeah. There is no race. We are lying to ourselves. Just put the kids out there, send these guys out on holiday because they've been run to the ground for the last 4 years. Just send them out on holiday, sell half of them anyway, and go buy new players. That's it. It's season over for me. People are talking about this week. I think we do turn up in the big game. Today we turned up. Today Liverpool sold us a dream in the first half. They sold us a dream. Salah scored. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to deliver on my promise. Mo Salah has scored and we're 1-0 up. We concede an idiotic goal, but 1-1, we're still in it. And then next thing you know, within 10 minutes, I'm 3-1 down. So it's just this is the roller coaster of emotions I go through. It's like this. But
Bro,
for me, Stamford Bridge, no 3 points, season over. That's it.
I totally get where you're coming from, mate. And I think that, yeah, season will be done at that point. But the game in itself today, what you just pulled on there, and I'm going to bring the panel out in a bit and speak to them about it. I thought the first 20 minutes you were really good. I thought you defended well, you countered well. And I thought, oh, like I sit there and start when you make a prediction and it looks like it's going. I thought, oh, I was 2-2 was my prediction. I thought maybe there's a chance from when they scored until the final whistle. They may as well have been playing Southampton legitimately, barring Gakpo. I thought Gakpo was quite good today. Good touch. He just didn't have enough around him, as it were, really. But there we go, mate. Listen, bro, I appreciate you coming on and having your say. I always do. And I'm sure we'll chat again soon, mate.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Take
sir.
care,
See
brother.
you.
All the best. Take care, Sam. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. There's also the football gods getting Husam back for saying that Paul Scholes was overrated the other day. Life comes back at you fast. Panel's almost set. We've got Sonny coming on. We've got Tom Little coming on. We've got V coming on. We should be having Kurdish on as well, potentially. I'm just going to check the group chat. To see if they're on their way. We'll bring the boys out anyway to come on and have their say because Arsenal are obviously kicking off soon. We're live after the Arsenal game, so make sure you're joining us, even as a rival. We're live after Chelsea. Make sure you're joining us as well. And also go and follow us now on Spotify for our exclusive podcast that comes out twice a week. We want to keep tracking up the trends on there. Links in the description or in the live comment section, and give us a 5-star rating as well. Panel time coming up in a moment. I've got some super chat first I've got to do. It says, we must RIP this Liverpool team to shreds. Rip this Liverpool team to shreds, sorry. Even at Anfield, absolute dog poo. Trent is a clown. Klopp is clueless. We have to do it all by ourselves, is what Roman Hoax here at Gooner has got to say. Listen, they were terrible today. I fancied it. I mean, I'm in the mud. I thought it'd be 2-2. But City, that's 3 emphatic wins on the bounce as well. Let's listen to what the panel's got to say. Let's do this. Welcome back, boys. First of all, I want to go to Tom Little. A humbling and embarrassing defeat today. Smashed to pieces by Man City after taking the lead. And maybe more embarrassingly than anything else, not laying a glove on them in the second half. Talk to me, Tom. Talk to me.
Where do you start with that? We started off all right. To be honest, I think the manager got it completely wrong in every single aspect of the game today, but that's what I'll touch on later. We've done all right for the first. I don't think we were good first 20, but we done all right. Got the goal, and then it was that moment where we've got a 2-on-1, and it's Salah and Jota up against Grealish, and my 350 grand a week winger manages to kick the ball into their winger, and then a minute later they go and score. At that point, I knew the game was done. Because when we needed everything to go our way because we're that bad. The defense just was horrific. I sat there and watched my defensive line shape up like a year 9 graph exam. Where it's like that. My defensive line was that. We were that. Because my right back is sitting on our penalty spot. My centre back's closest to the halfway line. My left back's nowhere to be seen. Don't know where my left back is. Everything was gone. That carried on throughout the whole game. The midfield, non-existent. Joke. The attack, I thought Jota was all right. I thought we just didn't use him enough. I thought Gakpo was all right in the second half. We just didn't use him enough. Once again, the tactics of this team, shocking. This is a team that spent 7 years playing counter-attacking, quick-attacking football. And what do we do when we're up against a team that you can get at by playing counter-attack, quick-attacking football? We decide we want to recycle it round the back and try and pass through Manchester City because that is the solution. That is the solution. Joke. The substitutions. Deep down, I maybe knew that the game was done. But I'm a fan. I'm not the manager. My manager should be going out there and trying to get the best result possible. Not taking off our 2 best attackers on the day for Robertson Firmino. For Oxlade-Chamberlain got more minutes. It is the year 2023, and we're giving Oxlade-Chamberlain minutes. And people want me to defend this manager? No, I'm done. If he was to go, I wouldn't be bothered. Get me Ruben Amorim, top manager.
You're done with Jurgen Klopp now. Then you're done with Jurgen Klopp. Sonny, do you agree with that? Is this on Jurgen Klopp now?
No. It's not on Young Club. It's on the players. I can't do this anymore. I'm beginning to have trust issues in real life because of Liverpool. I can't keep putting my trust in this team every single week. And as I'm sure you know, I'm quite a hopeful person. If there's a chance, I believe there's a chance. I can't do this anymore. That first half, it didn't sell me a dream, but it gave me a reason to, I'm believing the right reason. We do have a chance in this game. And that second half was just, you know what? I'll tell you what. Salah, Alisson, and Klopp. Anyone other than them, if they walked out tonight, I would not. I don't care. I can't back these players anymore. Van Dijk has been dreadful for about a year now. Gomez wasn't playing. He's been dreadful. Every single person on that bloody pitch. I'll tell you what. I'd even say Salah, but Salah is usually consistent in these games. And I'll give him the praise because he scored a goal. But it's just, I can't. It was like we were playing 11 robots today. And you know what? I think if we actually went for the game a little bit more in that second half, it wouldn't look like that. It genuinely looked like we were playing against AI. Manchester City are amazing, but they're not AI amazing. Like, we made them look better than they were. I'm not going to stop supporting this football club because I'll never do that. But they're hurt. They're genuinely hurting me because in that second half, at one point, we were 3-1 down. We didn't even have the ball, right? And Manchester City were just knocking it about us. And every single Liverpool player was just stood there. I don't know if you lot have seen the clip of, it's not even Liverpool, but have you seen that clip of like Neymar when he's doing these skills and they're just letting it happen? The guy stand there, he's like, no, you know what, Fairs, you keep doing what you're doing. That's what Liverpool were like today to Manchester City. We were well and truly their bitch. It's happening so often now. That's why it hurts, because this used to be a one-off thing. The 7-2 against Villa, one-off thing. Back when we won the league, the 3-0 loss to Watford, a one-time thing. These things are happening every single week. Our last league game, we lost to Bournemouth. I can't. I don't even.
So how's this not on the manager then? How's this not on the manager?
I'm not saying it's not on the manager, but I will never say sack Jurgen Klopp for things like this, because we've been through similar things like this and we've came back from it. I still believe Jurgen Klopp has the best chance.
We only got past those similar things though by getting rid of the manager. We went through it under Hodgson, we got rid of the manager, it changed. Went through it under Dalglish, we got rid of the manager, it changed. Went through it under Rodgers, got rid of the manager, it changed.
We went through this under Klopp and he brought us back.
When there was a clear and obvious excuse for why there was a reason why our underperformance was, we were down to our 8th and 9th choice centre backs. I can sit there and understand that, yes, the overall performance level might drop. Right now, that team that was out there today, bar Thiago, was arguably our first choice team today, and it got battered 4-1, and that to me is on the manager.
Our first choice team.
So who would you change then? Sorry, Nunes as well. I forgot about Nunes. I forgot about Nunes as well. So Nunes comes in.
Henderson cannot be in the midfield, and Elliott cannot be in the midfield. I think those have had their times in the midfield. Nunes has to be starting every single game, especially in a game like this where we know we're going to be counter-attacking. To not play Nunes today was disgraceful. I blame Klopp. I do blame Klopp.
So who are you taking out?
I cannot back that. Who are
you taking out for who are you putting in? Sorry, for Henderson and Elliott right now.
Thiago, Fabinho. I'd have Carvalho over bloody Henderson. Carvalho. I'm not even thinking straight right now, and I'd still have Carvalho in over Jordan Henderson. Jordan Henderson isn't even offering the same captaincy.
I'm sorry. Look, I'm sorry. You cannot defend this manager after that. You cannot defend him. Not just after today. After this season.
I'm not defending the manager. I'm just not asking for the manager's head, because what Klopp's done for this football club, it is disgraceful to say he should leave at this point. We've been through things like this before. We came back and went for the quadruple the next season. We have to give the manager a bloody chance.
Are we doing this again? Where it's all about we've done it in the past, so we can do it again. It was a
so what else can we base it off?
It was a different. Right, okay. Do you know what we can base it on? We have to rebuild. Are we correct in me and you have an agreement that we have to rebuild?
Yeah, of course.
So, we have to rebuild. Jurgen Klopp has an awful rate of success when rebuilding a team he's built in the past. It is a completely different scenario having to rebuild the team you built compared to rebuilding a team you have no connection to.
So are you telling me you have no trust in Jurgen Klopp rebuilding this team and going again for the title or whatever trophy it is? If this man is backed by the owners, which maybe he won't be, but it's not going to be different if a different manager comes in, what's your point? Because Jurgen Klopp is surely the man who can come back from this with the owners' backing. If we bring in another manager, that's only going to cost more money, and we're probably going to have less backing for players. I don't see your point.
Once again, the big point there with the owners backing, these owners don't back people. So let
so
me
the
get
owners
this
are the
straight.
problem, realistically.
When
When have I said they're not? At the end of the day, I either pick a manager who has a success rate or
guys, let me just jump in for a second. Klopp needs criticism for lots of things because I understand getting beat by City at the Etihad. They can beat the best teams in the world. They could beat you like this when you're at your best, and they have beat you badly when you've been very good as well. But you've lost multiple games to awful teams this year. And even when you beat United 7-0 in the first half, and even when you were killing us, we were still creating chances. Newcastle, you were brilliant for the opening 20 minutes. They went down to 10 men. You're 2-0 up. They should have scored goals. Alisson is probably going to win your player of the year for saving you in multiple games like that. You've had so many players, Trent, Van Dijk, Robertson, Fabinho, to name just a few, that have dropped off the face of the earth. Could it not be a manager that's done this? Or I'm just thinking about it out loud as playing devil's advocate. It's a bit of a coincidence they've all dropped off at the same time. It isn't one that's declined. And some of these guys, they're moving like they're 34, 35. Some of them are 27, 28 years old. Trent looks like an old man out there. He's 24. Like, I don't see why they've all declined. It wasn't like they were all young proteges and prodigies, who broke through at 15, 16 years old, like Wayne Rooney and Cesc Fabregas, that by 28, 29 had a long career. Some of these guys weren't even playing at the highest level into their early 20s, and they're dead now. Like, surely, Sonny, there's got to be an element here where you look at the manager and go, his tactics, his training, maybe the level of intensity they play at. Maybe the players are just done with it, bro. Maybe they're just done with it.
Terry, what you just said there is not the manager's fault. Some of the reason you said the players look tired, the players look slow. What's our reason? They can't be tired. They've just had 2 weeks
He's
off.
the one who picks them.
What can we say? What can we actually say in this situation? Because there's no way these players today come out in the second half. And as I said, they were glued to the floor when Man City had the ball. I believe that's what you mean by they look tired, and I agree. That is not the manager's fault. You could see Klopp screaming at them on the touchline. So clearly he knows that's not what he's told him to do. Of course, that's not what Klopp said. He hasn't said go out there and do everything apart from press. Klopp is telling these players, I'm sure, the right thing. I can't tell you for sure because I'm not in the changing room. But let's be real. Klopp he's won us trophies. He's telling these players the right things and what to do. It's so clear for me. The players are doing something else. So
right,
clear.
okay. No, look. Tactically, let's just break it down basic, because there's a very basic tactical error that man made today. He changed formation, which I'm fine with. It was the right thing to do. He went to a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-3-1, whichever word you want to use for it. He done the right thing. The point of that system is to stop your fullbacks from pushing on so much, so you maintain a flat back four, so they don't get dragged out, so space doesn't open up. Every single one of their goals today was because our fullbacks went up. One of the fullbacks was dragged out, the defence split apart, and they played through it. That cannot be on the players to do that 4 times in a row consistently.
But Tom,
when
that
guess
was the
what?
same-
They've done it all game. Then these players, when earlier on this season, they were given the exact same tactical instructions and they executed it perfectly. That cannot be on the players to suddenly forget how to do these tactical instructions. That has to be on the manager who went for a different idea to maybe push up higher, try and attack him behind. No, it was the wrong thing. And he's done that time in, time out this season and time in, time out last season as well. But the mentality was different. So we got away with it. Let's not act like Jurgen Klopp was faultless last season or the year before. This has been 3 years of inconsistency, but we still back him because he won something 5 years ago. That isn't the right mentality for this club. They should be challenging for the major honours year in, year out. Mediocrity. That's what it is. It's mediocrity. It's a joke.
My point is we still have this team.
Guys, I want to go to V. Let's go to V for a minute because V hasn't spoken. Go on, V. What do you want to say on it? We are going to speak City as well, but what do you want to say?
No, I'm gonna deal with this real quick. If you're going to be blaming Klopp, that's one thing with regards to maybe the management throughout the entire game. But look at what he had to work with. All right, and you want to point out the past game, Tom. I mean, I think it's crazy that you want the man out. I think it's crazy. You let the man get another season with his bodies that he wants, but to kick him out, I think you're gonna slow your process even longer. But this game in particular, we scored with our chances. You want to point out when you guys got that 1-0 win at Anfield, we also had chances there. They just didn't go through. We didn't deliver. But the chances still were there, even with the back line that you played. And you weren't that high up the pitch either. We just tactically we got it right today. We finished our chances today. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, are you going to, you can't kill him for the subs. This is the one thing I want to jump in when you guys were talking about. No, because If you are, were you killing him the second leg of the Real Madrid game? I don't believe you did. I think I heard many Liverpool fans concede. You know what? This is out of hand. It's not our day. We're gonna look to fight another day. I think Klopp looked at 70th minute or whatever it was. I'm gonna take these players off, make sure I have bodies to fight against Chelsea and Arsenal moving forward. This game, I'm gonna concede it. And Liverpool fans were okay against Real Madrid. You should have been okay this time around as well, because he's thinking top 4.
I wasn't okay against Real Madrid. I'd never like to see my manager throw away a game with 30 minutes to go in it, considering that all he harps on about as manager of this football club is the mentality. We are the mentality monsters. That's his favorite thing.
But you don't. But he's looking at what you have this year, and he's like, "Listen, I got to pick my spots."
I honestly, yeah, I agree with V. I know I don't think it's right what he did, but that's what he did. He got to that whenever he made those 4 subs and went, "We just play to not get." Basically, this play to not concede 5, 6, or 7 is what he tried to do. You conceded one more, and that was it. There was a good save, I think, from Alisson at the end. Grealish should have really got a second, but that's what he did. And ironically, that's what we should have done, bloody hell. That's what we should have done at Anfield.
But
and only lost 3 or 4-0. But that's what he tried to do today, because I think his view is if we concede 5, 6, 7, maybe we can't recover mentally before that game on whatever it is on Tuesday. But yeah, look, I think that there needs to be, as Sarim here says, sorry lads, but they're his players, and it's very true. Jorge here says Klopp is too loyal. You can't name me 3 players that he wanted to sell or get rid of. They are burnt out because he doesn't trust other players.
This is a manager who sat there openly. He's come out openly and said, I won't sell a player unless they ask to leave. What sort of fucking top club mentality is that? We are supposed to be a top club. Top clubs are ruthless. Do you think Pep Guardiola would still be playing James Milner, Jordan Henderson, Oxlade-Chamberlain? They'd be long gone. James Milner will be back in the Championship at this point. Oxlade-Chamberlain will be out in Turkey for Galatasaray. But we still give them meaningful minutes in the Premier League. Because guess what? They done something good 4 years ago. They done something good 5 years ago.
Tom, the other day in a press conference, Klopp got asked a question about signing someone for like £100 million. Do you know what he did? He laughed.
God.
He laughed at every single person.
I know you haven't just pulled out Klopp press conferences.
This